'Tis the season to be jolly. And why are we jolly today? Because we are going to be speaking about the federal indictments of the former President Donald Trump and the current president's son, Hunter Biden. My name is Michael Santos. I served 26 years in federal prison, and I really want to talk about why I get so excited at this time of the year. While I was in federal prison, I was always looking at December as being a pivotal moment, but particularly the December before an election year. And that's where we are right now. In less than a year from now, we will have a new president, and we will also have a new Congress. And so that makes things really important because they are going to be discussing potentially reforms that can influence the lives of millions of people. And I am super enthusiastic about this year because we have President Trump facing 37 felony counts in one federal indictment and 32 felony counts in a second federal indictment. This has, of course, never happened in history. And you know the president's house right now is thinking about the possibility of imprisonment. But it's not only President Trump that's facing the problem. We also have the current president, Joe Biden, whose son, Hunter Biden, was recently indicted. He faces the potential of up to 17 years in federal prison because of these felony charges. These felony charges bring one thing in common to both President Trump and the Biden family, is both of them are thinking about federal prison. And this is super important for those of us who are optimistic and work toward prison reform because it gets people thinking. And while I was in prison, whenever I saw somebody that was powerful coming into the prison system, I got enthusiastic because it would advance my work. And my work is about reducing the number of people who are in federal prison. In this era of big government, we incarcerate far too many people. They serve sentences that are far too long, and I am super optimistic that it's now not only you, people who are subscribing to the Prison Professors programs, or you who have family members that are struggling through prison, or you who are potentially facing criminal justice problems. It's also a former commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, facing multiple decades in prison potentially, and it's the President Biden's family. Right now in the holidays, they are distraught just like your family has been distraught if you are a justice-impacted person. I am an advocate for anybody going through the system. I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and I work really hard to try and develop tools, tactics, resources that will help people going into the system prepare for the best possible outcome. That's why we founded Prison Professors, a free resource to help people. And I hope President Trump is using Prison Professors. I also hope that Hunter Biden is using these resources, including Prison Professors Talent, where we profile thousands of people who are working hard to advocate for their pathway to a higher level of liberty. I am the author of Earning Freedom, this entire concept of allowing people to work toward earning higher levels of liberty through merit, through their efforts to reconcile with society. We've recently built an entire calculator page with tools that people can use to engineer a mitigation strategy. And at our newest venture, Mitigation Arc Courses, we offer premium content, including a daily interactive webinar and community. All of this is part of the ecosystem we are building to reform the prison system so that we would close all minimum security camps. Anybody who is in a camp could just as easily be serving time at home with their family, working and paying taxes. And this is the efforts and the initiative that we all should be working on together. We should all be thinking about how do we get the best possible outcomes of the prison system. And it was really a powerful man, Jared Kushner's father, who allowed that to become possible with the First Step Act. Why? Because Jared Kushner, super powerful real estate developer from New York, goes to federal prison. His son, Jared Kushner, visits him in federal prison and witnesses the enormous injustice that many people in federal prison go through. And of course, that made an indelible impression on the young Jared Kushner. And as a result of it being a very high priority in his mind, when his wife's father ran for president and became president, one of the more important items of agenda was prison reform, which led to the First Step Act. Ironically, an act that President Trump signed. I began advocating for that when I got out of prison in 2013. In fact, I advocated all the way through the 9,500 days that I served in federal prison. Don't have to take my word for it. You could look at articles that I published in the UC Hastings Law Review where I spoke about incentivizing excellence by earning freedom. So I'm really hopeful that you will follow along, subscribe to us at Prison Professors, visit us at prisonprofessors.com, prisonprofessorstalent.com, or mitigationarccourses.com if you are a justice-impacted person or if you want to see reforms in the criminal justice system. But I do want to say that is the common thread in the President Trump household and in the Biden household. They are right now looking for information on what will it be like in federal prison.